How's it going, everybody? Coming to you today out on the T7. Going to be doing a little bit of trail riding today on it, trying to get used to the bigger bike. Haven't really put out any videos lately because I've kind of been busy and just kind of burnt out on YouTube at the same time. However, I just wanted to kind of make something today, so thought I would go for a ride. Since it has been a while since I put out a video, I have lost, misplaced, whatever, my microphone adapter for the GoPro, and I'm using a purple Panda microphone inside my helmet. I have lost the adapter to go from it to GoPro, so now I'm just having to use the built-in microphone adapter and the GoPro Media Mod. So it's not the best sound in the world, and hopefully you're not going to get too much wind noise, and hopefully you can hear me and the motorcycle okay. Not really much of a plan today. Going to go and hit a little bit of single track. Going to go and hit some Jeep trails. Just trying to build my skill on this heavier bike. Kind of gotten spoiled on the Husky 501 with it weighing, you know, under 300, and then hopping onto this big guy that's closer to 5 than 3. I mean, big difference in weight. But yeah, just out for a ride to do some skill building, a little bit of single track. It's nothing difficult, just good fun stuff to help build my skill and my confidence on the bigger bike. So I hope you enjoy. Great day for riding today, other than the fact it's deer season. We are in late October here in Arkansas, and we haven't had rain in 70 something days, I think. So everything is crazy super dry, but the temperatures are finally starting to cool off a little bit. I say a little bit because it was 90 something degrees 2 days ago, and today it's supposed to be 80. So drought-like conditions, and deer season. So hopefully I don't make any deer hunters mad out here riding today. This little single track. It's a fun little flowy track, nothing too difficult. A couple of little tree roots here and there, and some rocks, but all in all, it's just a fun little flowy track. But it does help you build the skill that you need for these bigger bikes. Or it does help me anyway, I feel, to be out on stuff like this. You know, I'm not super fast on it, but I don't think you really have to be super fast to build a skill like this. Getting used to throwing the heavier bike around. Especially like right up here, we got a pretty tight section where you got really kind of finesse. All right. Widens out a little bit here. Not so much actual single track, as more like a four-wheeler trail. It's a little smaller than even for side-by-sides, but fun little jump. Another one there. Getting on stuff like this, I think really does help boost the confidence and the skill. Last weekend had a rally at the Rock up here, and one of my buddies borrowed the T7 on this trail, and we had a lot of fun. He was pretty set on getting a Africa Twin, but I might have convinced him to T7 with him getting to ride it up here, which he's used to riding a bigger bike. He's been riding a KLR on stuff like this for a couple of years now, so he's used to throwing that weight around, where I'm not. So I'm trying to work those skills. One thing's for sure, those leaves sure do kind of hide stuff. Embedded rocks up here at the top of this. You kind of got to make sure you get a good line on, or you can end up hitting your skid plate pretty hard on them. Got a little section here, and then we tie back in with a single track down the road. You can see how it's narrowed back down to more of a single track now, gotten out of that little four-wheeler section. next little bit of trail we're headed to, I'll crisscross back and forth across the creek. I imagine only 1 or 2 spots will have water with how dry it is. Sometimes you cannot make this route if it's too wet, because the creeks will be too high for you to cross. So I imagine that's not going to be a problem this time. And while we're on basically just a pretty calm road, working our way toward the trail, here I go ahead and tell you a little bit about the T7. It's been a minute since I had posted anything or talked about motorcycles or anything on my channel. I had bought a Husky 501 and had sold my DR650 and my Honda CRF 300. I still have a TW200, and I wanted something a little bit bigger than the 500 for extended trips. And I started out, I grabbed a Transalp, and the Transalp was okay, but right after I bought a brand new Transalp, I went and did the Utah BDR and the Colorado BDR in like a big loop. And personally, now I'm not saying someone who's a better rider than me, or even, you know, whatever. I'm not saying it's a bad bike, but personally, after doing those 2 trails, I decided I wanted something a little bit different than the Transalp. So came home from that trip, which I did all of that on my 501. So come home from that trip, start looking around, and they had a good deal on this with a good interest rate. It was a better interest rate than I had on my Honda, and I got a pretty good trade on the Honda. So I picked up the T7. After buying it, which I've had it, I bought it new. I've got 614 miles on it. I did the break-in oil service at 500 instead of 600 that the book calls for, and that was just for me, so I could have the oil changes at 4,500 or, you know, 8,000 or 9,000, whatever the math works out to, instead of at like 4,100 and, you know, 8,900 or whatever. So just to make math easier for me, I changed it at 500. While I was changing the oil, I put on the Tusk skid plate. I got the Barkbuster specific Tenere hand guards. I got the Artec plastics put on. I got the Camel ADV bracket brace for the radiator. I threw on some different tires, which are a little bit more aggressive. I went with the Tusk waypoints. The waypoints are what I had put on my 501 when I did Utah and Colorado, and they did great. They still look great after all those miles, so I thought I would try them on this one. That's basically it. I also got luggage for it so that I can take it moto camping or BDRing or whatever you want to call it, adventuring. On order GPS mount for my Garmin, and that's about it. I've also got a spring for the rear. That way my weight, because I'm over the suggested weight for the rider, and then I throw luggage on, it's going to be kind of killer on the factory spring. So I got a heavier spring on order as well. And that's pretty much it. I've ridden it around here in Arkansas on the back roads and some trails like you've already seen, and like some trails you're going to see. I haven't really felt hindered by the size of the bike yet. I'm sure that day will come, but so far so good. One of the things that everyone talks about, and I agree with, is a pain, is just how vague the rear brake is. You can't tell when, or I can't tell while wearing riding boots if I'm actually on the brake pedal or not, because it's just so soft of a push. Yeah, so Camel ADV makes what they call the Fix. I'll probably end up ordering one of those after I get my GPS installed and my rear shock spring installed. I'll probably look at the front springs for the forks, and then the Fix for the brake pedal. The leaves really hiding some of the rocks here that you got to go over and through and around. Fairly steep downhill. Whoa. Front end tried to wash a little bit. Those leaves, man, they just hide everything and they're slick. But yeah, I haven't really felt held back or limited yet with the size of the T7. But I can obviously feel a difference between it and my Husky 501. I mean, there's roughly 200 pounds difference, and when you're out here doing this, you can actually feel it. Wow. I've thought this one we'd at least have water to ride through. I mean, that's crazy how dry this is. Wow. T7, when you first get on it, especially after being on my smaller bike, when I first get on it, it does feel heavy. When I'm trying to push it out of my garage, it feels heavy, but once you get on it, it's not bad. Everyone always complains about it being so heavy, but you get out here and you start riding, and I don't feel that the weight that I do when it's stationary and trying to move it. I do feel that it is heavier than my other bike. Yes, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that it just doesn't feel, it feels heavier pushing it around than it does riding it. We were pushing it around in the garage like, oh my god, this thing would suck to ride, and it really don't. Yeah, this one's totally dry. There's one spot up here that's kind of slippery if you get your tires wet. I'm hoping I won't have to fight through it. With how low the water is, maybe it'll be dry there too. These Arkansas River rocks, they get slippery when they get wet. There's some water here. I gotta turn and make it up that leafy hill there. Come on, baby. Oh, that's not how I meant by when I said come on, baby. Oh, shit. Damn it. These rocks, man. They are slippery. See what I mean? Just slip and slide. Dang it. All right. There we go. No party, no foul. Come on. All right, downward we go then. Good times. If you can get traction, it'll go. It's just such a tight turn right there onto those freaking rocks. Oh, all right, I gotta fix my power supply to my camera. I'm all jacked up. Okay, now I can move my head. Yeah, see, I mean, even dropping the bike on a slight hill, I was able to pick it up. Tried to get it to roll up the hill, it wouldn't, so took it back down. Hit it with a little more gusto, no problem. Good stuff, man, good stuff. This is what I'm talking about. Trying to make myself better. Couple more months, another month or two, all the leaves will have fallen and they'll have blown off of the road. The trail, you'll be able to see the trail much easier. Be able to go a little bit faster because you can see where the potholes are, where the limbs are and stuff that you can't see now. This is terrible. Loose rocks everywhere and you can't see them with the leaves the way they are. But we made it. If this pace is boring you, if you made it this far, you're probably not bored by it, but just in case you are getting bored, I'm sorry, but skill before speed. Plus, like I've said 1,000 damn times already, you can't see the trail. Or I should say, you can't see what's on the trail under the leaves. You can see the trail perfectly fine. You can see where it goes. Ride. I like this trail on the T7. It's just challenging enough to keep you on your toes and keep you honest. It's not so bad I feel like I'm in over my head. Stuff like this ought to be just about a perfect training ground for any sort of BDR or ADV ride I might want to go on with the T7. I mean, loose rock, creek crossings, hills, some single track, some tight turns. That ought to really help build any and all skills other than sand, which is hard to find sand to ride in here in Arkansas, in my part anyway. I know that they've got some somewhere, but my area, rocks, dirt, trees, creeks, mud, that sort of thing. But still ought to be really good at helping build skills and the off-road riding. Find a lot of these old Jeep trails like this, but finding single track is dang near impossible because everything was either old logging roads that became Jeep roads or old Jeep trails that are now side-by-side and four-wheeler trails. Just can't find much in the way of a motorcycle single track. We're almost out of here. I got a couple of big hill climbs and one or two like mud puddle type things. Sorry, I had to get a drink of water. Even though it's in its 70s, I'm sweating. What is it? Air, 76 degrees. Alright. Okay, a couple of hill climbs and some loose stuff, and then ought to be out of here. Off to a terrible start there. I fell off of my line. Oh, it started bad, ended pretty good. think that's gonna do it for today, folks. It's a great bike, very happy with it. I just got to get used to the size and the weight, but it's not unmanageable. She looks good, she rides good. I'm happy with the T7, and looking forward to more time with her. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will see you next time.